Hirsch, and today I'll be redesigning my characters Maia and Kai. I already did the basis for both character sheets because it would have taken way too long to figure out the poses on camera, but I'm going to be starting with sketching Maia, who's the girl. So Maia and Kai are twins. I'll be talking about them more individually when I'm coloring, but for now I thought I'd just share general information about the world that they're in. By the way, if you want to watch my other OC video where I introduce all the main characters of the story, then check out the iCard. So Maia and Kai are part of my OC universe called SHARD, which is the tentative name that I've decided to give it. I chose this name because in this OC universe, it's a magical world, because why not? And basically everyone has a sort of diamond-shaped small gem on the back of their neck or somewhere else on their body, I haven't really decided yet, which is where they get all their powers from, and that gem is called a shard. Again, I might change this because this seems really basic now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah. Basically, the power that the shard gives is either shadow or light manipulation. I'm not going to go too in depth with that because I'm still figuring out all the finer details, but again, I did mention more about what each power does in my other OC video. I haven't made an actual OC sheet for any of my characters except Rowan, who's also a character in this universe. He has like blue hair, some of you guys might know him, but that was digital, and honestly I might change some parts of like his outfit. Speaking of outfits, these definitely aren't the finalized outfits that my characters will wear every day. They'll mainly be wearing like their academy uniforms since they are like of school age, but I thought it would become fun to come up with some ideas for casual streetwear outfits that they might actually wear on their days off. So Maia and Kai are the main characters of this OC universe. Right now the story focuses a lot on Maia and her sort of struggles, but I'm slowly trying to divert it towards Kai as well. By the way, Maia is the girl on the left page and Kai is the boy on the right, since sometimes I know that some of those names can be interchanged, I don't know. Anyways, I think I like the initial sketch for Maia a lot more than Kai, because when I was drawing Kai's like close-up, I struggled so hard to draw his mouth and eyes because I never really draw 3/4 like faces from that angle. I feel like every artist has that thing where they can draw 3/4 view faces from one side but not the other. So yeah, that's definitely a struggle, and even at the end, it's not my favorite the way that I drew his mouth and eyes, but I do really like the way that I drew his full body drawing more than Maia's. I also added little chibis on the bottom for each character. Maia's looks super tired while Kai's is a lot more energetic and hyper, since that basically represents their general moods. Here is the finished liner. I used like my brown and darker like black, I think, micron pens to color this, and then also outlined all the details for each character, but yeah. So now we're moving on to coloring, and I'm going to be explaining more about each character's personality and individuality. So Maia is 16 years old and she is a shadow manipulator, meaning, to put it simply, she can manipulate or control shadow particles. Maia is definitely a morning person. She can easily wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. without any alarm, and she also struggles to stay up later at night. Like if she has extra homework or studying to do, she'll probably wake up super early in the morning to do it instead of pulling an all-nighter, because sleep is really important to her, which is the opposite of Kai. Maia is also a coffee addict, and she likes light coffee with a lot of sugar, but also prefers drinking water over things like soda or other carbonated drinks. Maia is also super overprotective of Kai because they used to get bullied when they were kids since they were twins. Oh, speaking of which, I should probably explain this a little bit. So, twins are usually looked down upon in this universe because their powers are super weak in comparison to other kids, because like it's supposed to be split between the two. So when they were young, Maia and Kai basically couldn't use their powers at all, while other children their age were able to easily do it. Anyways, that's basically why they were bullied, and there's also an event which happened which led to their powers sort of awakening more, which is how they got accepted into this like more privileged academy. But I'm actually working on an animatic for that part of the story, so stay tuned for that. I have the storyboard part down, but I'm still debating which song I want to use and how I should sort of fit the storyboard that I've already designed into the song, and if I should like cut up the song or just use the whole thing, if that makes sense. So definitely don't expect it to come anytime soon, but I'm hoping that I'll finish it in like a month or two. I also have to figure out which art style I need to use for that animatic, since this time I'm going to try and keep my art style consistent throughout the whole animatic, unlike the last one, which I actually gave up on because I kept on changing my art style so much and I didn't really plan anything. But moving on, Maia also really likes books, which contributed to her being really studious and academically strong. However, she's also super tired 24/7 because she pushes herself so hard, and no amount of sleep or coffee can really help that. Maia also really hates cheese for some reason, or like bland food in general, and she also loves listening to music, mainly soft pop or rap. Coloring the hair for all these drawings was definitely the hardest part of the sketchbook spread. I'm still figuring out how I want their hair to be colored, since if you didn't notice before, Maia and Kai both have like genetically varied hair, where they're like sort of strands of the sort of platinum blonde color. Originally, I was just gonna make it that they were like bleaching it themselves, but then I found a reason to make it genetic as it's part of the story, so yeah. Every time I color their hair, it always ends up looking different, whether it's like where the strands are placed or what color they are. Sometimes the hair color, like the brown part, just ends up being darker or lighter in comparison, or ends up being more saturated or vibrant in comparison to others. But yeah, I really like how I colored it in my last video, but I couldn't find the markers that I used, so I just guessed, but it did not end up looking like that, and it ended up looking really different. Maya's hair looks super saturated now. I'm not like mad about it, but I think I still might tweak the colors and add more cool tone shadows like purples or blues, because I think that's what I did last time. I did figure out how it looks digitally though, so here's a quick reference for that. When I'm drawing these two digitally, I usually play around lighting a lot more, so that's why their hair color or like their skin might look a little bit different than when I'm doing it traditionally, because I don't have like all the marker colors that I would usually use to create the same effects. By the way, I found Maya's outfit on Pinterest. I think I searched up streetwear and I found like a bunch of options. I feel like this is the thing that she's most likely to wear though, since it's like casual and comfy, but also like kind of elegant in a way. I also really like how I colored the beige pants that she's wearing with the wrinkles. I think they just look super cool and like more realistic than what I usually do, so yeah. I also got some new mild liner brush pens recently, since my old set that I got in like 2020 finally dried out, and the old ones were actually the chisel tip and bullet nib ones, and I didn't know that these ones had a brush tip until I opened them, but then I thought that it would be really nice to use them for calligraphy like this. I actually used to do calligraphy a lot in 2020 and 2021, but then I just kind of let go of it because so many of my brush pens dried out, but I think I might slowly get back into it, especially for sketchbook spreads like these, since it does end up looking really nice and adding a nice touch to my sketchbooks. Anyways, then I went ahead using my white gel pen to just add in finishing details. I went ahead and outlined some parts of the pants and also added some highlights on the hair and the clothes. And here's a quick look at Maya's page. I'll show more of it towards the end of the video when I also finish Kai's, but now we're moving on to his spread. So Kai is also obviously 16 years old since they're twins, but he's a light manipulator, which is the opposite, so that means that he can control or manipulate light particles. By the way, there isn't like one manipulator that's more powerful than the other. Both light and shadow manipulation can reach the same potential, and there isn't like one that's stronger than the other one, if that makes sense. So I did kind of want Maia and Kai to be like opposites since they're twins, but also because the main plot point is based around their differences, I wanted them to also have close bond with each other so that they aren't like completely opposites in their personalities and manipulation abilities. So Kai is a night person, so he will definitely pull an all-nighter to study because he hates waking up early. I imagine like this is just a sort of headcanon that whenever Maia wakes up early to study and if she recites in her room, she may accidentally wake up Kai if she ends up talking or being like really loud, which would probably annoy him lots. Kai also loves sweet foods and candy, and he has a love-hate relationship with energy drinks. Before final exams, you can probably catch him at the supermarket hoarding at least a bag full of them, since he definitely needs them to stay up and pull an all-nighter. Kai's also probably more artistically inclined than Maia, in which he likes painting on canvases, mainly like landscapes or sunsets, I imagine, or maybe like flowers or garden vibes. He also loves origami and like arts and crafts in general, so if you're his friend, he will definitely make you a bunch of origami flowers and rings or something cute like that. I also think that he would probably enjoy like Studio Ghibli films or something like that. He's a very down-to-earth person, basically. Opposite to Maia, Kai is also more extroverted and recharges by spending his time with friends, and he's also definitely the cinnamon roll of the friend group. I forgot to mention, but Maia is also like more of a mom friend. And finally, Kai also hates bugs. Anything that flies or has more than 4 legs is instantly his enemy. I think I had a lot of fun coloring Kai, more than I did Maia, just because the colors I used were more in my comfort zone. Again, I went on Pinterest and searched up male streetwear to find an outfit for Kai, and I chose this blue sweater over a white tee, which you can't really see, and some baggy black jeans paired with this like navy blue sneakers. I think Kai would wear something more cool toned, like green, blue, and purple, and just darker colors in general, whereas Maia wears more beige or neutral tones. I actually changed Kai's hair from the last video. Originally he had like light brown hair, like caramel colored hair, but I realized that I did want him to look more similar to Maia so that people would like realize they're twins or they're related. So I did give him the same brown color that Maia has, and he also has these platinum blonde highlights in his hair. I used slightly different colors for Kai's hair than Maia since I colored them on different days. I actually overlaid his hair color with purple like I mentioned that I was going to do for Maia, and I also used lighter purple for the shadows of the blonde bits, which gave him a more cooler tone look. I actually think it blends in a lot better with his clothes since his clothes are also like blue, which is cool toned. I also really like how I colored his hair with the full body drawing, so I think I'll just go back and look at that footage and note down the colors that I used for future references. I feel like I should definitely start doing that more so I actually remember what colors I used for my original characters when I do other spreads. Again, I went in with a dark blue pen to write out his name in calligraphy. I actually really like how I did the calligraphy for this one, and it was so smooth using these mild liners. For finishing touches, I went in and added these purple and blue bubbles to make Maia and Kai's pages look more full since they were looking really blank before. I also used my white gel pen to fix in some details and add in some hair highlights. Overall, I had a lot of fun redesigning Maia and Kai. If you guys want more OC content, let me know down below in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!